a lot of healthcare workers, they want speaking gigs and they
Mhm.
want brand deals and things like that. How do you think that they can position themselves to get it right now? There's many with low followers,
Mhm.
so they don't even think about it. And I even tell people like, you could go speak at your old high school, you could go speak at different places where
Yeah.
you can put yourself out there and at least start to record yourself speaking to a crowd so that and then
Mhm.
putting that online so people even know that you speak, because sometimes people won't even know that you speak because you don't have a speaking gig on your social to show people, oh, she or he does speaking gigs.
I think that's a good point. There shouldn't be assumption that just because you have expertise in something that you also want to speak on it. I have plenty of colleagues who have like doctorates and MDs and stuff like that, and you couldn't pay them to publicly speak on a topic, right? So I think it's a misconception that just because you have expertise in a topic that someone's going to reach out and be like, "Oh, can I have you speak on the topic?" Because just because you know about it doesn't mean that you can translate it into an audience to actually make them want to listen to you and pay to see you, right? My first 8, I feel like it's like 8 to 12 months of trying to build myself as a speaker. I took low cost to free gigs and I always pitch myself. I also have never stopped pitching myself in the first place. So I recently had a talk with someone and they stated that they don't pitch themselves. And I'm like, interesting. That's probably why you have substantially less stages and you're asking me like this the secret. And it's like I still pitch myself. The internet is a large place. There are so many people out there. When are you going to get to tab tab at the pitches? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like the audacity, first of all.
How do you go about pitching yourself? Like, what would be is there like steps that you take or something that people could do, like actionable
Yeah.
steps?
So when I started off originally, I wanted to see what I wanted to speak about. And social media helped with the whole aspect of showing that I could speak about a topic. So let's say I was trying to speak at NAACP. This year I spoke at NAACP about something. It was NAACP, Urban League, and Essence are all in the same month. I literally was at all of them. I talked about something with Black people, I'm sure, right? So, say I had to do something with Black people and mental health, and I would to the information, pitch to them. First, I would try to find the right point of contact. And I started out in the beginning with just having a spreadsheet. So, I just had an Excel sheet with all the conferences that I wanted to speak at, and it had the name of the conference, the date of the conference, the typical point of contact, email, and stuff like that. The date of the conference is really important because typically they'll book out months in advance. Like I have already booked out. I think the latest that I have a gig right now is June of next year, but a lot of people reach out a lot quicker. I would look for the emails of the point of contact. If I couldn't find an individual person, I would just do like contact or conferences or press and stuff like that. And I would have kind of the same information like, my name is so and so, this is my expertise, I want to speak about this. And before I had a lot of gigs, I would include a video of like me speaking about it on social media just to have example of like a you can have that as like your little pitch reel or whatever. Like this is me also talking about it so you can know that I can break stuff down in a reasonable way. If they didn't have a budget in the beginning, which most people didn't, that was one of the things that I always asked for. I said, okay, so I understand that you do not have a budget. Will you be recording this event? Instead of you being able to pay me, I want the digital recording because then you can build your own speaking reel. I also want a review, a testimonial, either video or on LinkedIn, because a lot of people don't use the LinkedIn reviews as much as they should. If you go to my LinkedIn and you go to recommendation, there's like 15 recommendations from people that I spoke on. And I think it's also important to vary the way you post on different platforms and know what different platforms like. TikTok is actually, honestly, my students watch TikTok more than anything, but it's more so front just basic talking into the wind kind of camera, typically the place where I cuss people out. Instagram is more like when I'm doing like translational work and doing the skits and stuff like that. LinkedIn is where I'll do posts and carousels. Those tend to do it better. And Facebook is also a really good community building platform as well. But most people will go straight to my LinkedIn if they're trying to book me for something. And not only do they get to see some of my videos, they scroll down and they see 15 recommendations from people that I've worked with before, right? And your website. Now, I do know like a lot of times people don't think of social media as their website, but they should. Even if you just have a facing landing page, you also get more searchability when it comes to SEO, like if they're looking for certain topics. So even if you don't want to build out a full website, my website is on Wix. I do recommend that people have a landing page, right? Because it just means that you're more easily searchable. And some individuals don't think you're as legit if you don't have a website or if the thing doesn't work. But I think that's incredibly helpful as well. So I would pitch. I came up with a spreadsheet of places that I wanted to go. And if there was a specific topic that I knew that they discussed, I would make a video about that topic, post it, and then just also attach it. I would also
Okay.
be really mindful of the engagement. I always say don't post celebrities have like millions of followers and stuff like that. They don't have to reply to any comments and stuff like that. We are not celebrities, okay? People forget about the engagement part of social media engagement. Respond to the comments, respond to the questions. First of all, the more comments that you respond to, the more that the algorithm is actually going to push it because more comments on the post means they think people are watching it, so they're going to push it. But you also get to have more information about your audience. You also get to know if your stuff was clear, and it also makes more sense because people like being engaged with the individuals that they're working with in the first place. So like don't post like a celebrity. Ain't nobody a celebrity. Respond to the comments so that
Mhm.
you're able to answer the questions and do that often. And then if you when you get the videos of you recording, post those. Like split them up and post those. There's a program now that wasn't out when I was out, Opus, and you upload a
Mhm.
video and it breaks it into like digestible, like say you upload a 60-minute video, it'll break it up into like you set the length of clips that you want, like 1 minute, and it'll break it up according to like what they think is the most viral thing and put it on your page and stuff like that. But if you don't have any videos discussing the topic that you're going to pitch yourself to talk about, make the video, post it, and then attach it to the email. And if they state that the event has already passed, be like, okay, so thank you so much. Do you do a call for speakers going forward? When do you typically do that call? Set a reminder in your calendar, which I always do, to reach out like a month or two in advance and keep in contact with that person. Follow that person. A lot of times they'll go follow for follow. So when they'll also be able to see you, say it's a year between now and the next talk, they'll be able to see that you've been consistent and they're following you as well. Right. And you can also send them stuff over time, but just be consistent and follow up. I always say that when it comes down to it, you're going to have to tell me no. You're gonna have to tell me no. I'm looking for new speaking agents because like trying to find someone else. So I have 3 edited videos of speaker reels. I will be sending a different video email for the next 3 weeks. And then I'm gonna just repeat it. If the answer is no, you're gonna have to tell me no. Like it's just an email, right? But document the places that you want to go. Also, sometimes it's very hard to find the emails of the people who are speaking, who are booking individuals. So if you follow like the conference, and a lot of times at the end of the conference or at the beginning of the conference, they'll upload a picture that's like, oh, it's the whole team behind the scenes. Look who they tagged. Follow that person and pitch and be like, "Hey, so I'm looking to learn more about this event and stuff like that." DM them and they may be able to give you like an email or point of contact too, because it is difficult to cold email like contact at so and so. But if I see you posted a picture of the team that put Afro Tech together and somebody tagged them, that's the next person I'm following. And then I'm also looking on LinkedIn for their email as well. Like I literally do research for a living. I'm gonna find you. It may be because you
Mhm.
posted a picture like years ago and then they happen to include your email. I'm just gonna continue to do the emails in the first place. It doesn't take anything but time. And as someone who doesn't believe in balance, I just do really well at knowing things that I can do while doing other stuff. I'll listen to podcasts while I'm folding clothes. I will, you know, record a lot of videos when I'm in the checkout line. Like it's really just about knowing what you can break down easily. But anyone who's in the healthcare profession, we've all done harder things personally, especially if you're like direct patient facing. You got to deal with patients every day. This is easy.
To watch the full combo, where Dr. Raquel breaks down how she lands speaking gigs, brand deals, and big opportunities, join Healthfluencer Hub, link below.